Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 226. As always, I gotta let you guys know, if you would like to keep in contact with me, you can always do that on my Twitter and Instagram, both at Casting for Two. As well as send me an email, castingfor2@gmail.com. And of course, I got to talk about Sunday Brunch, which is the other podcast that I host with the always beautiful and lovely and amazing Megan Johnson from tipsywriter.com. Again, go to tipsywriter.com and read her posts. But Sunday Brunch is available on sundaybrunchpod.com, as well as all the other podcasting services out there in the world. So go do that. What else can I talk about? Spencer Box and Comic Bento. They're sponsors of the show. Of course, if you would like to subscribe to them, links are in the bottom. I don't know why I'm having a bad brain fart. Links are in the bottom. Use the promo code casting2, the word casting and the number 2, and there you go. I should talk about my guest. I am having the worst brain fart right now. Nothing even is going on. My guest is Elisa Flynn, and she is a musician who has a new album that is out literally right now. It's called "The World Has Never Been on Fire," and it's a wonderful listen. And to be honest with you, Elisa was a wonderful interview, and I had so much fun chatting with her. But instead of me telling you, let's just listen to it. Yeah? So sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. Right, yeah, I don't have a camera on my computer.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. That's good. What part of the world are you at?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Have you been in Brooklyn / New York your entire life?
I've been in New York I've come and gone from New York, but I grew up in New York. I grew up in Yonkers, which is right next to the Bronx. And I've been in Brooklyn for 16 years. But
okay.
I've also lived in California. I've lived in Connecticut.
Nice. And is it something about New York that has a hold on you? Or are you just like, well, I'm just kind of here?
Yeah, it has a hold on me. I tried California. I tried San Francisco, and I liked it. The speed was so much slower than what I was used to. I couldn't handle it. So here I still am. That's just barely scraping by in New York City, but it's my place.
There you go. I totally know what you mean, just because I grew up, or I was born in Texas, and then when I was a kid, my family and I moved over to Oregon. Mm-hmm. And I am in love with the Pacific Northwest. That is my jam.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's green. It rains. It's there's no humidity. It's like, what's not to like about it? And then so now I'm back in Texas, and it's just like I'm just here killing time until I go back. But especially during the summer times, it's just I don't go outside.
I've actually been to Texas many, many, many times, all parts of Texas, and I really liked Austin and almost moved there, and then with the heat was a factor.
Right. Yeah. My bestest is she goes, because I'm just like, you should come visit me. It's like, well, there's that heat thing, and I go, you know what? Understood. I get it. That's why. I mean, I've worn shorts all year round. There's no point in having pants. It'll be December, 25th, Christmas Day, and I'm rocking shorts while everybody's in their jackets. I'm like, come on, it's only 60. Just it's okay. But nah, it's all good. So as you can see, this is a pretty loose show. We can talk about whatever you like. But one thing I love knowing about musicians, my go-to question is, when did you know that music was something you wanted to pursue?
When I was really young. Well, I guess when I was super young, when I was a really young kid, my parents had me take classical piano lessons for years. And they had visions of me becoming a classical pianist. And
Right.
I was a little bit on my way. But then when I got into my early teens, I discovered like the Ramones and the Clash. And I was like, well, wait a minute.
There's no piano in those songs.
This is cool. I don't want to do this stuff that's uncool.
Right.
So at 16, I stopped playing classical piano and I started messing around with other stuff. And then in college started like actually playing, punk rock and indie rock with other people.
Nice. I started out playing jazz drums for a good portion of my drumming career, and at the time I hate jazz. It's like, I do not care for jazz. It was like, just playing. Now that I'm older and I'm not in school and forced to play it, I'm like, you know what? I don't mind jazz. But I definitely hear when you're just like, I just want to rock and have fun and like play until my fingers start bleeding. Like that seems fun to me.
Yep.
When did, now in that time when you were, finding the rock portion, or maybe even the piano portion, were you writing like lyrics or music or anything like that?
At that age, no. When I was young, super young, I was not. I didn't start writing my own stuff until probably just post college. In college, I was in a noise band, which still exists to this day. And I did some noise stuff, and then I graduated to some punk stuff, and I started writing. I joined a band with some friends. The band was called Freak Baby, and we basically learned how to play together. We were together for 6 years, and I learned how to play guitar and write in that band configuration. And before that, it was just like all crazy noise, freak out lunacy.
Nice. Yeah. It's like you play something, and I'll play something. Let's go.
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha.
How many people are wearing a dress and who's smearing themselves with birthday cake, and that was the original thing. And
so you guys, wait, you guys had to bring a birthday cake to every show?
No. The noise band I was in, it was all about performance. I mean, we started in art school, and it was all like a performance project. It was, how gross and ridiculous could you be? And it got a lot grosser. The birthday cake, but how outrageous can you be and still call it quote unquote a musical performance?
Right.
So there's been a lot of that over the years. It's a long-standing performance art kind of thing.
Gotcha. Well, now, I mean, you should start a band and be known as the band who brings cake to every show.
I think maybe I'll start doing that now. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's like, dude, did you guys see that band the other night? They brought cake to the stage. That's when you know when you're getting older. It's like, man, I'll just bring food to the stage. Why not? We'll play a little bit. We'll hand it out. Well, it's a good time. And so, from your writing process, how did that change to now?
So I was in a few bands and wrote stuff and would bring it to the band and we'd play it and flesh it out together. and did that through a few bands. And then about 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago now, I decided I didn't want to play in a band anymore. I was having hearing problems, and I was just finding it difficult to work with other people, and so I started playing solo. But I had been at that point, I had started writing a lot more by myself and writing more quiet sort of stuff that wasn't working in a full-on indie rock band like the one I was in. So at that point, about 10 years ago, I really started writing like super hard for myself, and that became, what I do now.
And is there, when you write the stuff that you do now, what is that process like? Are you just, I need to go into a dark, quiet room and just sit there until something comes out, or you like to walk around or anything like that?
I kind of constantly write. So sometimes when I'm walking around, I'm writing and then like writing stuff into my phone. A lot of the stuff I write comes from two things. At night, I sit down, and right before I go to bed, I tend to sit down and just sort of write in my journal-y type journal. Some people do that in the morning. They journal when they first get up. I can't even like put two thoughts together when I but at night, I'm still a little clear, even though I'm tired and I'm writing.
Right.
And the other way I do a lot of writing is when I'm listening to music. I put on music really loud, anybody's music, not mine. And I listen to music and I write in a stream of consciousness fashion. And I'm not writing about the song I'm listening to. I may be using the meter of the song, but I'm just, for some reason, listening to music that's not my own gets me going with writing. So a lot of my songs are written that way. And it's, like I said, it's very stream of consciousness. Sometimes it's not, it's almost automatic writing. I developed that. I don't know how, but it really, a lot of songs come out of that process. And then, like I said, there's journal things, and I just write anything I can think of all the time. And then I page back and look for stuff as I'm writing music. I don't write music and lyrics together. They find each other. I mush them together when I'll write a melody, and then I'll go looking through my books. Oh, this kind of goes with this melody. And that's how I put stuff together.
Gotcha. Cool. When I was, let's say, I love listening to music. If I could, right now while we're chatting, I would have music playing, just because I enjoy listening to it. But unfortunately, the program I use would record it, and it would be bad. But in school, when I was going to school, I always had headphones on and would be listening to music and listening to the teacher. And I remember one teacher got mad at me because she was assumed I wasn't listening. And I said, well, do you want me to repeat what you just said, And then I was able to do that, and she just said, fair enough, and then kept teaching. And I was just like, that's when I listen to music, I feel like it clears my head, even though there's so much stuff going on. It's a nice way to unclutter everything. It's like throwing clutter at clutter. Somehow it cancels each other out. So, I'm always envious of people who can write lyrics, just because I've written one song and I'm retired, just because that was a process too, and it was just. I can write a short film, no problem, but a song, no, I'll leave it to the professionals.
I don't think I could write a film, so there we go.
It's just more words that don't rhyme. That's it. And so when did you? So what? You have a new album coming out. What was the process of doing this album?
So this album, I had a bunch of songs that I had written in the previous year, and they all seemed to go together for one reason or another, and they were all the favorites of my recent writing. And I went to an artist's retreat last summer. I actually went last summer and the summer before, called Camp, and it basically it was a collaborative residency where you work with other people, but you also do your own work. So in the morning you like meet and have workshops. In the afternoon you do your own work. So every afternoon for like 7 hours at this place we were in the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina. We were in this artist residency house, and it had a music studio in it, and I was the only working musician in this group of 20 people. So I took over the music studio, and I would just lock myself in there 7 hours a day and record. And so I did most of the album in 9 days there.
Oh, geez.
And then I came back to Brooklyn and did a few more songs, and that was it. But it was a really fun, good, concentrated experience. So I recorded it all to GarageBand and then brought it back and added some more stuff and then handed it over to my co-creator who actually, like, I did all the music, but he did the production, this guy who goes by Arts and Rules, and he did all the mixing and mastering. And he looked at it as a project of, he's an electronica guy, and he tried to apply some electronica music mixing principles to indie rock / folk rock / what the heck it is that I do. And,
cake rock.
Cake rock.
I do cake rock now.
Cake rock.
Please, I'm sorry. You have to do this now. Cake rock. If yacht rock is a thing, so is cake rock. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. And I have friends who are bakers, so maybe I can get them in on this.
There you go.
They can do baking for me, yeah.
The planets have never aligned more than this. That's all I'm saying. You are going to fulfill a prophecy of cake rock.
I wanted there to be hieroglyphics in the future. Me holding cake.
It's going to happen.
Guitar in one hand and a cake in the other.
And so when it comes to the new album, was there one song that took you a bit more time to figure out whether it was the lyric side or the music side?
You mean to figure out?
Yeah, that just took a little bit more time.
You know, a song on the album called "The Prison Ship Martyrs Monument," and the song has nothing to do with it. That thing. There is a prison ship martyrs monument in Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn, and it's called that because I wrote it sitting there, and I was suffering from writer's block that month, and I sat down in front of that monument and I said, I'm going to write something, and I started writing this out, and the song didn't make any sense to me for months, and I kept putting away and bringing it back, and I didn't like it, then I liked it, and then finally it sort of gelled for me. But yeah, that was the longest, hardest song process of the songs on the album. The rest of them were pretty quick once they went together. Yeah, and
nice. And now, is there one song in particular, or it doesn't have to be off your new album? Is there one song that in particular that you like to play in front of people?
It is off the album, the most recent one. There's a song called "Before He Went Down," and I really like playing it. I like the music. I like the lyrics. I like the whole idea of the song, and I enjoy playing it in front of people. I mean, I like playing out, but that is one of my favorite songs. It's about someone who had a psychotic break and thought that they were Jesus, and I love that song.
Oh my God, those classic Jesus songs! I'll tell you. And now for you, and this is strictly just how you feel. What to you makes a perfect song?
Wow, it's a perfect song.
And it doesn't have to be yours. It could just be any song in existence ever.
Golly, that's an enormous question. Wow. I guess when it just feels like feels natural. It's kind of hard to say what makes a perfect song. and perfect songs for you change all the time. I mean, I have songs that I've liked for many years, songs that I go through phases with.
Right.
I don't know. This is going to sound really ridiculous, but the perfect song for me this week,
Yeah.
of all songs, has been Behind the Wheel by Depeche Mode. And the reason why is because I saw Atomic Blonde.
Oh, yeah.
That song features really prominently in it, and the mix in the film is so amazing. And I just keep thinking of that song over and over again in a way I've never thought. I mean, I've heard that song hundreds of times, but I don't know. There's an excitement and a tension in it that's just so great. I guess that's what I like about. That's what makes perfect songs: excitement and tension, I guess.
Yeah. No. I mean, my friend makes fun of me because whenever I watch movies or TV shows or anything, I'm always first to point out the music because I mean that's what can I've always said music can bring people in. You have great music, and that's what they'll remember. So I'm with you on the whole music, Atomic Blonde thingy. But and for the people at home who are interested in picking up the album when it comes out, when does it come out? Where can they get it, and where can they follow you?
Okay, it comes out on November 17th. They can follow me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I have a website. I would say the quick and easy way to follow me is on Twitter, and then you can sort of connect to everything else via that. Mm-hmm. Instead of, I mean, my website is elisaflynn.com, ELISAFLYNN.com. And my Twitter is let me just make sure before I say it here. It's at Super Elisa FFF. So at Super ELISA FFF. So that's a good place to, follow me and find out all, I post relevant information and stuff about the album and the tour. I'm going to be doing a couple of short tours for this album when it comes out. So a little East Coast, a little West Coast. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. There you go. And Elise, thank you so much for chatting with me. And we've had a good time, but unfortunately, we have to stop.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. And anytime you want to come back, just let me know. All right.
All right, I will.
All right. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.